What was the next point? Controlling the credit. First we'll discuss the last aspect, developmental role, because this controlling of credit will go for maybe 40 minutes. So we'll finish the short developmental role of RBI. Or first we'll write this manager of exchange rate. You write manager of exchange rate. RBI manages exchange rate of rupee. RBI manages exchange rate of rupee vis-a-vis the basket of currencies. Vis-a-vis the basket of currencies. In bracket you write basket of currency includes, or it includes 4 or 5 leading currencies of the world. 4 or 5 leading currencies of the world. 4 or 5 leading currencies of the world. Next line. What was the sentence?
Exchange rate of rupee vis-a-vis basket of currencies.
ठीक है. You write next point. RBI is using managed float technique. Managed float method, you write. Managed float method to control the value of rupee, from excessive appreciation or depreciation in it. Excessive appreciation and depreciation in it. Full stop. RBI generally takes action when rupee goes out of control, in a sudden manner. When rupee goes out of control in a sudden manner. Full stop. RBI can intervene in the exchange market. RBI can intervene in the exchange market by putting restrictions on nominal exchange rate, in bracket you write quantitatively. Full stop. What does it mean? It means we cannot put restriction on exchanging rupee with dollar in terms of a rate of rupee per dollar, but we can put restriction in the amount of dollar that is converted in terms of rupees. Shall I repeat again? There may be restriction on, or you write, RBI can put restrictions on the amount of dollar which an individual can exchange, but RBI cannot put restriction on the value of a rupee in terms of dollar. on the value of rupee in terms of dollar. Clear? Next role of RBI is developmental role. This is very unique role. First you need to understand what is known as developmental role. Like we'll discuss in the tools of monetary policy in the next topic, that is credit control or controlling of credit. We will see that RBI is regularly intervening in other sectors also. Like for example, in developing agriculture sector, in developing small industries, RBI is continuously intervening in the financial market, that banks should give this amount of loan to this particular industry or this particular sector. Like for example, there's a concept called priority sector lending. So it means banks have to give 40% of their loans to the priority sector. Now what other sectors comes under priority sector lending? Number one is agriculture. Second one is your MSME. These two are the most important. Now we are adding few more new things like health sector, we are adding education sector, women empowerment, minority community, etc. But two most important thing is agriculture sector, because of this total 40%, 18% belongs to this agriculture sector. And then second one is MSME. So RBI is actually taking its step out of the box thinking. Like for example, RBI is making banks to give loans to the priority sector, because we need important funds, or what we can say, what are the loanable funds available to the banks. Loanable funds means those funds which are available for the loan. So banks are giving that amount of fund in terms of loan to agriculture sector and MSME sector. So RBI is regulating that credit. So actually the establishment of NABARD on 12th July 1982 was the main purpose of RBI, is to take control of agriculture as well as rural credit. This is the full form of NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So actually in 1963, NABARD was one of the department of RBI, but that department performed pretty well. So RBI separated that NABARD and decided that NABARD should be a separate entity to take control of rural and agriculture credit. Getting my point? So this is the one step forward from the role of central bank, because you do not have any example of any central bank of a country that is doing the same thing. Nowadays many central banks are doing, but RBI has started this trend. When we talk about Western capitalist country or Western economies, Federal Reserve Bank of England were never engaged in this kind of task. They were just taking control of their financial transaction, monetary transactions. But here the RBI's role is very varied. We can say that RBI is taking control of other sectors also, like educational sector, health sector. So RBI is mobilizing or compelling banks to mobilize their resources from other big industrial houses towards agriculture and MSME. So this is also in part of, we can say, this is a big contribution towards inclusive growth. So you can also write this point in the paragraph, inclusive growth. Then after that, RBI is taking control of branch expansion. Although we can say that this is the main role of RBI, but getting the last person with the bank facilities in the remote areas, RBI is taking control of that. RBI is giving some kind of incentives to the new private banks to open their branches in remote areas, mountain areas. Getting my point? So this is also the step of RBI towards the developmental path. So we'll write in few lines, we'll sum up this thing. RBI's most unique role as a central bank, RBI's most unique role as a central bank, is providing its expertise as well as giving directions to the banks to the banks in order to provide credit to the sectors like agriculture, MSME, health, education, women-centric businesses, startups, etc. RBI is taking control of priority sector lending. We'll discuss what is PSL, priority sector lending. To give a boost to the resource crunch sectors other than big industries, you're right, other than big industries. RBI is continuing with this priority sector lending. Concept, although it was rejected by Narsimham Committee of Banking Reforms. Narsimham Committee on Banking Reforms. Full stop. Now the Narsimham Committee said that the priority sector lending should not be as high as 40%. It means, suppose if you are giving 100 crores of credit, 40 crores of credit will go to agriculture, MSME and all these priority sector lending areas. So it may restrict the working of banks. So according to Narsimham Committee, we will discuss tomorrow, Narsimham Committee recommendation. He was of the opinion that priority sector lending rate should come down to 10% from 40%. So the concept actually was rejected, but later on he said that you can have priority sector lending, but the rate should be 10%. Take a write the next line. RBI is taking further steps. In developing agricultural and rural market. With the help of what? NABARD. So you write with the help of NABARD. If you want to write full form, you can write National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD. Bracket close. NABARD undertakes the task of providing soft loans as well as acting as a refinancing agency. Now understand what's the meaning of refinancing. Suppose there is one borrower and this is SBI. So if some borrower, suppose I am the borrower, I will approach to SBI for agriculture loan. SBI will say that, oh, you are not very credit worthy, we cannot trust you because of your background, assets, or maybe you are taking loan for the first time. So borrower will say that I'll fill that KYC form, know your customer. In that KYC form he will give all the details about himself, his property, wealth, etc. Now SBI will say that giving loan to this borrower is a risky. So maybe SBI will reject this borrower. That is a frequent situation in rural areas. Banks are not providing easy credit to the borrowers. Now borrowers, what will be the other option? Either he will go to money lender, getting my point, or institutional lenders like, individual lenders like, होते ना, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ज़मींदार तो नहीं होते हो, सिर्फ हिंदी टर्म है उसका, ठीक है, तो मनी लेंडर सी इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट टर्म, so money lender. But then SBI will say giving loan to this borrower is maybe a risky, so we will face the problem of non-performing asset, because suppose here he is able to pay 1 or 2 or we can say 4 or 5 EMIs, but what will be the situation after that? Maybe his crop will not get fruitful production. Then after that what will happen? He is unable to pay its EMI on time, so it may be risky. So SBI is reluctant in giving loan to this borrower. What will happen? SBI will approach for extra fund on cheap credit to NABARD. But NABARD will say that we cannot give loan directly to the borrower, because NABARD does not know about this borrower, because the KYC is with SBI, not with NABARD. Then NABARD will say, we'll give you funds, but it is your responsibility to give loan to these borrowers. So this is the meaning of refinancing. This is direct financing, but this is the root of refinancing. So NABARD is a refinancing agency. Getting my point? Because NABARD undertakes the task of agriculture and rural development, so they have to take some certain kind of risk. Back to NABARD. SBI is just a channel to mobilize those funds, because NABARD is a government owned entity, although SBI is also, but 53% of share holds by Government of India, but SBI is a commercial bank. Getting my point? SBI will think about profit, NABARD will not think about profit. NABARD will think about this agriculture and rural development. That is why NABARD is doing the same thing. So this is the meaning of refinancing. Soft loans are simple. So you write soft loans. Soft loans includes cheaper rates of interest, as well as longer time period. Suppose there are two types of loan, 1 and 2. 10% for 5 years. And this is 5% for 10 years. Which will come under the category of soft loan. Second, although आपने पूछा तो अभी बताना पड़ा, otherwise मैं आपको बाद में बताता what is soft loan, because we'll use this term in IDA, International Development Association. which gave a lot of funds to India throughout this 20th century. Then after 2002, India became a net lender to IDA. IDA is one of the arm of World Bank Group. There are 5 banks under World Bank. So IDA is the most important part after IBRD, that is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. We'll discuss it later, but soft loans meaning lower interest rate as well as longer time period. You can write this example, तो आपको याद एक बार में आ जाएगा, ठीक है. Now we'll discuss the last point of this topic, RBI. Listen very carefully, very important topic. You cannot leave any topic related to monetary policy and fiscal policy. Then exchange rate. If you are finding any news related to these 3, monetary policy means news of RBI, fiscal policy news of Ministry of Finance, and exchange rate is the external news with Indian rupee. You cannot leave these 3 news from the newspaper. So first, how RBI controls credit? By making monetary policy. By making monetary policy. Monetary policy is of 2 types. Anyone? Oh, that's the nature. Quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative and qualitative. So you will write, first one is quantitative. So first you will write the definition of monetary policy. Monetary policy refers to the policy of controlling interest rate. Monetary policy is the policy refers to controlling interest rate, controlling the interest rate, controlling the interest rate in the financial sector, in the financial sector of a particular country. So in one word we can say monetary policy is simply controlling of credit with the help of changing key policy interest rates.
Sir, is there any difference between financial sector or banking sector?
Financial sector is a big term, broad term. It includes bond market as well as other markets also. But banking sector means simply related to or limited to banks. So when we use financial sector, it is a wider concept.